Hey, welcome guys back to the channel. It's Maverick here, and today we are watching the grand finale of Sangatsu no Lion. At least the second season anyways, because obviously the story still goes on. And yeah, it has been a long time coming, man. I mean, it's been almost a year. 44 episodes would typically be about 44 weeks, right? At least for how I do things. So yeah, almost a year already. It has been a long time. But anyways, last episode I made a comment where I said, hey, it seemed like a pretty good place to stop the season already, right? Hina got into high school, the same high school as Rei is, and Rei himself has been like a shining example of someone who's turned his life around. He's getting better and better at interacting with people. His shogi is progressing rapidly. He's in a new division now. He's got friends. He has people who care for him, and people that he himself cares for, and you know, good peers, good friends, all in all, just looking upwards, right? And even we can see him at the end of last episode, maybe even, how should I put it, being able to face his foster family a little bit more now, right? So I do question, like, what exactly we're going to do in this episode. Is it going to be more reflections? Of course, obviously, I know that, you know, we have the graduation ceremony, the start of a new season, etc., etc. Start of a new semester, I mean. But how exactly are they going to end this? Obviously, I don't think it makes sense for them to introduce drama right now, considering it kind of defeats the whole purpose that we've had this season, which is to see Rei basically go on an uptrend and reach the place that he is now. So, what exactly is in store for us? Let's find out together. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. The other house. Oh. Or... Alright. Okay. Foster mom. Surrogate. Actually, I guess I can't really say foster. Surrogate mom? Are we gonna get a face reveal at the end? So we get to see Kyoko? Yeah, it's been a while. Why would you need to ask about Kyoko? You've been meeting with her regularly. Maybe not. Yeah, he's changed. Wait, he's the same age as he is? Seriously? I mean, even during the flashbacks, I thought he was older than him. I thought Rei was older than Ayumu.
練習しないと始まらない簡単な答えだった。だがしかし、できるかといえばできなかったのだ。正論を粛々と体現していく彼を前に、うちの子たちは自分の弱さに心を乱し、粉々に崩れていった。私は自分の子供たちに反発され、戸惑い、主人はただ黙ってそれを見ていた。
Yeah, I think I mentioned, for those of you, I mean, I assume that if you guys are following up until now, you probably watched all the way from season 1 to over here. Right. I talked about this a lot back in season 1 as well. I do feel like I put the bulk of the responsibility on the parents, actually. That is actually true, by the way. Being able to put in dedication and effort, that is a talent in of itself. Of course, natural talent is important. But honestly, the further along I move in life, the more I realize that those who are able to really put their heads down and work hard, that's a real skill in of itself. Not really. Little did you know, his dedication was out of desperation. Honestly, even though it's a bit harsh, I do feel like it's your fault for not raising your children properly. Who would say that out loud? If anything, he's much more mature for not saying that. But they just... Well, that was awkward. Are they still? Well, Ayumu had to has to be here, living here, right? Mhm. That is possible. That is an interesting little episode here. And we still get an opening? Alright. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting little interlude there. I mean, this would have been the perfect time for me to actually talk about all I was talking about during the episode, but, you know, just to quickly recap again. Well, she was basically recapping everything that happened up to now, right? Like what caused Ray to move out and whatnot. But yeah, once again, I do sort of put this blame on the parents more so than Kyoko and Ayumu. Because adults, and especially parents, should be held to different standards from children. I wonder what prompted Ray to come back and visit though. Is it because he feels like he's in a good place mentally now? Or is it because, you know, dad told him to? Oh. And we're back to daily life stuff. I wonder what Hina is feeling down for. Is it because she is unsure of herself? Or is it the sort of feeling that he's going further and further away from her? Or it could be a combination. Hey, he's quite the pro at this as well.
作れますよ。ホットプレートさえあれば。材料なんてどこのスーパーでも売ってるもんだし。あ、キリイカは一応持っていきますけど、寮で歓迎会してくれるって言うから挨拶代わりに作ろうと思うっす。3月町から来ましたって。
ああ、そうか。私たちは3月町の子だ。それだけは絶対に。どこへ行っても変わらない。それいいね。きっとみんなもんじゃは知っててもまだ食べたことないと思う。
I kind of doubt that.
もちろんっす。あ、でもコテだけは持ってけってじいちゃんが買ってくれました。ホットプレート用に竹のやつ。
ああ、確かにこの小さいコテは売ってなさそう。大きいのはあっても。
It's not that uncommon.
不意に涙が出そうになった。
I mean, I have that here in my country as well.
彼は本当にもうすぐここを去るのだ。何度も泣きそうになって息を止めた。
いつ行くの？
来週の土曜です。
桜祭りの日だよ。
うん。見れなくて残念だけど。彼女はまた屋台やるの？
うん、今回はね、お汁粉だよ。2種類。
Well,
頑張れよ。
she's putting on a strong face.
この時間が大事で、でも流れて止められなくて。
Man,
姉ちゃんが
this music though.
いっぱい話せるように誘ってくれて本当に嬉しかった。一緒にもんじゃ続けて本当によかった。本当によかった。そして桜祭りの朝が来ました。
Oh, that was fast.
さてと、準備完了。そろそろ行きますか。
Huh.
いらっしゃいませ。
Really?
三日月堂の白玉入りのお汁粉いかがですか？あら、今回のも美味しいわ、三日月堂さん。とろっとしてて甘じょっぱいのね。よかった。白味噌が入ってるんですよ。あったまるわ。まだまだ川辺は冷えるから。あら、じゃあ私もくるみ汁粉。よし、校長ね。まだ肌寒いからあったかいのにしても正解だったわ。
どうで女子は。白玉足りなくなったら早めに言えよ。いくらでも茹でるぜ。
Yeah, they'll be doing fine for the next generation.
了解、どうぞ。いいの？お見送り行かなくて。
Ah, so he hasn't left yet. Okay.
いいの。
頑張れよ。
よいしょ。
Mm.
私もここで頑張るね。
すみません。くるみ白玉2つください。
はい、いらっしゃい。
ひなが髪を？乙女の一大イベントじゃないの。そんな小さな恋が一つ終わって髪を切るだなんて。
Hey, they're actually. 'Old school in this as well. 'You haven't been through this, Sakari? Kinda turned out. Yeah, right before high school as well. Like mom. I'd say it looks more like elementary school. Hey, it kind of looks like Hanakana, right? Her voice actress. Oh, what? Okay, there's still a lot more time left. So, damn, I was like, that is like way too soon. Well, actually, let me. Oh, what the heck? It's the last episode. Fine, let's sit through the ending credits one last time. Oh, this will turn out to be very funny if it's not the last episode. Oh man, that's gotta be. That is so troll. Anyways, new haircut, new self. Yeah, works great. And right before starting a new school life. Yeah, that is quite risky there, you know. Gotta think these things through. Alright. What are you up to? She's too ashamed to come out. He's gonna be like, you look so cute. Well, yeah, she is actually quite cute. Though indeed, this makes her look much, even more. I'm sorry, but you look like an elementary schooler, Ina. Aw, you're too nice, Ray. ん What? Oh, she's singing the theme song here. Yeah, so it's a quite the happy ending, I guess you could say. Okay. Bye bye. Well, see you guys after this. Well, okay, I guess we've learned what Ray's type is, right? Apparently he likes the more cutesy genre or cutesy type of girls here. Or maybe more young looking? Question mark. I do find Hina's haircut to be rather amusing, to be honest, in terms of its style. Like I said, she looks like an elementary schooler, or at most a mid-schooler, not someone who's just about to go to high school. Maybe it has to do with her, you know, her overall aura as well, because that also kind of makes a person as well. And I also find it kind of amusing that this haircut seems quite similar to her voice actress, right, Hanakana, who, by the way, just recently got married, so congratulations to her. You kind of see the overlap there. But yeah, anyways, so the end of this this particular episode, the ending story here, you know, sending Takahashi off. Well, we already knew that this is a slice of life sort of anime, and since it has to do with school days as well, it definitely does have some coming of age elements to it, right? In fact, the whole entire thing, you could say, is a sort of coming of age experience, especially in regards to Rei here, and then also to, you know, for him to come from a place of you know, even though he's mature, he's also immature, if it kind of makes sense. He's mature because he's you know, he acts in a logical manner, he acts in an adult kind of way, but he's also immature because of, you know, the various circumstances that he's been through and how he's been reacting to it, how he's been dealing with it so far, right? And so seeing him, you know, go along this journey and eventually getting to a better place, and also all those around him, by observing those who are much older than him, actual professionals and whatnot, and how they treat life versus, you know, his peers and so on and so forth. It's definitely you know, the entire work could be considered a coming of age work, I feel. And I mean, not really too much else to talk about for that particular part. I guess the next time that they meet, you know, both will have grown up in their respective ways. I'm talking about Hina and Takahashi there. And yeah, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised that we didn't get some sort of, you know, Japanese drama style running during the cherry blossoms and whatnot, and say, "We'll meet again," or something like that. I mean, I was expecting it, but that it didn't happen, I guess, also has its merits as well, right? So, that's basically what I want to talk about for them. Now, honestly, I felt like the more interesting thing to me was actually the appearance of Ray's foster mom this episode, and basically, you know, what she was talking about through that little mini episode there, right? And like I said, she basically just recapped the entire situation up to why Ray left the house and whatnot. Nothing that we didn't know already. We should pretty much infer that at this point by now. And once again, you know, going back to what I said back in season 1, I do feel like the entire reason that this came to be is mostly at the fault of the parents, most specifically the father, right? He should have had a more active role in sort of defusing the situation and whatnot, and shouldn't just let it ride out like that. You know, it does good for no one, least of all himself, right? So, and that goes for the mom as well. She, you know, even though I guess you could say it is a more traditional style of Japanese household, right? Like, the mother is just supposed to be there, support her husband, and take care of the kids or whatnot, take care of the house. But still, she really should have had a more active role in all this as well. She did ask, did she fail to raise her parents? Did she fail to raise her kids properly? And to be honest, I would say yes, right? I personally would say yes, even though you can't blame it solely on the parents. They are your children. You have to take care of them. You have to set them on the right path, right? I'm not asking you to be so heavy-handed to it as to limit everything from them, but still, we can clearly see that this is more of a I ain't gonna do anything about it kind of situation here, right? So that's one thing, and another would be the I did kind of talk about this through the episode already, but I just want to quickly recap as well. So the sort of lack of talent, which Ayumu was trying to say here. So obviously, talent is inherent natural talent is one thing, right? And Rei definitely has a talent for shogi. You don't just get to this kind of position and have this kind of accolades just by working hard. You still gotta have some talent to back it up as well. But as I was saying, actually, the further along in life that I go, the older that I get, the more and more that I feel like talent, that's one thing, right? But what's really going to get you to be able to maybe position yourself among the greats is actually, your commitment and determination to do so, and that is what's going to really push you over the edge. And even it feels kind of funny to say this, but I even feel like perhaps there are more people with natural talent than there are people with the required determination and commitment necessary. Being able to make that sort of commitment in order to make it great in life, right? You can get by good. So I have a very deep what can I say? I have a very deep grasp of this kind of situation as well, because not to really be boastful or anything, but I do feel like I have a natural talent for some things, many things, if you will. But it's a blessing and it's also a curse in a way. So I was able to, I'll be honest, I was able to cruise through life entirely on cruise control, right? I got to like top universities, got top jobs, never the top. If I were to describe it, it would be kind of like how we have the 20-80 rule, right? You spend 20% of the effort and then you get about 80% of the output, just like that, right? In my case, I would say it's even maybe more like 20-85 or even 20-90 in some cases. So I never had a problem going through life or whatnot, and yeah, I would say I was blessed in that regard. However, it's actually really hard, and I've realized this the more and more I get older, that it's the people who become great, the people whose names that you can remember, the people who you look at and say, wow, that the way that you become somebody, let's put it this way, are those that are able to push the remaining 80% of effort and get that remaining 10%, 20% of output there. It feels like really inefficient and whatnot, and to me that's also, just thinking about it, it's also a sort of limiter on myself as well. I'm just like, why should I invest so much time and energy to that just for that little tiny bit of improvement, right? It doesn't make sense from an economical point of view. But at the end of the day, people are remembered for you get to the 99 percentile or 98 percentile or something like that, and that is how you actually become known, and perhaps even higher than that, right? Just being at the 90 percentile or something isn't really gonna cut it all that much. You're just like, yeah, you're there, you're good, you're not great, right? So it is it is what it is, I guess you could say. That's still something that I struggle daily as well. Trying to push myself to put a little bit more effort into things, to do things a little bit more better, even though it might not be as comfortable, right? But you really have to get out of your comfort zone, honestly, in order to really pursue greatness, I feel. I mean, if the only thing that you want to do is coast for life, then I guess this kind of works, right? But if you really do have that desire, that burning desire to actually be something or be someone or do some great thing, yeah, you're gonna have to push yourself, and that does not come easily. Let me say that. In fact, I would even say, just from I don't know whether this is true or not, but to me, it almost feels like those that have natural talent outnumber those that have the ability to push themselves to the limit. Yeah. Well, yeah, I actually think that should probably be true. I never really thought too deep about that, but that's basically that. Anyways, that's kind of off topic here. So we are at the end of the series here, right? So by now, we're saying first season, second season, 44 episodes in. Let's talk about Sangatsu as a whole, right? And this covers both season 1 and season 2. So first thing, I'm going to say I guess maybe a controversial opinion here, especially since looking at my anime list and whatnot. I personally like the first season more than the second season. Yes. So, yeah, sure, the second season, I get it, right? I get why people would like it. It's, it represents a turning point in Rei's life. He's getting better and better. It talks about some pretty, deep and, pretty, realistic subjects, such as bullying and whatnot. And we get to learn a lot more about the side characters, right? We have more and more of that. But, I don't know, to me, though, it just feels like, even though the first season, we can clearly see Rei is struggling here, right? The entire atmosphere, even the colors and whatnot, they're gloomy. It gives a suffocating kind of feeling. I feel like throughout all that, you could always see a sort of light in the dark, right? You could always have this kind of feeling that, hey, it's gonna get better soon, right? And when we get there, it's gonna be so satisfying. You can see the building blocks of how to get better around Rei, even before he himself actually realizes it, right? The Kawamoto sisters, the peers, Nikaido, those within the Shogi Association, and so on and so forth, right? You can clearly see that he has the resources beside him to actually push forward and get to a better place mentally. It's just that the time isn't right yet, or he hasn't, he hasn't really put enough time or effort into it yet. But we can clearly see that here, right? You contrast that with here, and indeed, I feel like one of the reasons why maybe I would prefer first season more than the second season is because of the entire, I guess, bullying arc, which spans so many episodes. It spanned at least half, I feel, of this season here. And yeah, sure, I know there are probably people who love this series just particularly because it touches on this subject and whatnot. But if you guys have been watching all the way up to now, I would presume you've probably been listening to my thoughts over the episodes as well. I feel like this is just such a sticky subject, right? And I really think that there's no exact clear resolution we can have of this situation. Sometimes you just gotta let time work things out, and let time heal the wounds, and at the end of the day, say to yourself, hey, this only represents like literally maybe 20% of your life, right? It's not going to be the end of your life if you can't get by this high school period and whatnot. So it's a sucky situation, and obviously we would like to see some catharsis about all this. But honestly, to me, like even if Hina were to go up and like punch all the bullies and give them a beatdown or something, I don't really feel satisfied by that per se. Right, I especially, I feel like with, there's just too much to consider here for me to really just look at this situation as just go punch them in and problem solved, right? Whew, everybody is like, yeah, rooting for Hina, stand up for the weak and punish the bullies and so on and so forth. I really don't think it's such an easy situation as that. So, I mean, I applaud them for making this, for doing this sort of topic. It's just not something that inherently interests me, and it's not really something that I find enjoyment out of, right? And I watch anime mostly for enjoyment. It's either for for watching, if it's comedy or whatnot, obviously that's easy enjoyment right there, or to feel awed, or to actually learn some new information or whatnot. But trying to get through a situation like this, which feels more akin to like a soap drama. Probably shouldn't say it's a soap drama, but it feels like that, right? It's people problems, and indeed it's illogical people problems, because bullying inherently doesn't really make much sense if you think about it, but that's just how things are this way. So it's not particularly a subject that I really like here. Now, the rest of the second season, right? Everything else I loved. I loved watching Soya come on, and Rei's interaction with him. I loved Shimada and the various stories that we see of him. Nikaido, great bro, a great friend, and great frenemy towards Rei. Fantastic as well. And even Yanagihara, right? The old guys, the old dudes, watching their philosophy in life, watching them, burning their, how they treat life even at this kind of old age. There's like decades and decades of life experience between them and Rei, but even so, to see this kind of contrast and whatnot, that's something that I really enjoy. So I would say everything within the second season that didn't have to deal with the bullying situation, I really liked, and that was that. So yeah, and that's why I personally I like first season more, because I feel like it was focused purely on Rei here, and all the other characters that we meet are sort of kind of adding on, or sort of shaping Rei's how should I put it, Rei's personality, his behavior, and whatnot. I mean, you could say that this one did too as well. Don't get me wrong, I totally understand that. We can clearly see that Rei took this situation upon him very seriously, and it kind of changed him as well. But maybe if they had like shortened it to half, I would have felt much better about the entire situation here. Beyond all that, the visuals, like talking about the fundamentals in something, the visuals are something you kind of take for granted after watching so many episodes, but if you really think about it, the visuals are really, really stunning and beautiful. It features a very unique art style, especially for some of the like background imagery and whatnot. That's great. The still shots, and especially in this second season, using all these vibrant colors, which gives a great contrast to like the first season, right? I do love how they did that color palette sort of situation here. Yeah, it's very noticeable. But beyond that, though, I have to say, like, out of all the fundamental kind of stuff, the music in this is probably my favorite aspect of this anime so far, or indeed of this season. The music is really, really good, right? It's emotional, it's beautiful. The climaxes, the rises and lows are put at the correct time, and not even the music as well. I recall back in within this, even back in season 1, but also in season 2 as well, there are numerous times when the sound design was utilized to great effect, right? Like the lack of sound, or frustrating sound, right? It invoked emotions in you just purely based on the sound design alone. And I think that's probably, if we're talking about all the fundamental aspects of an anime, right? And this includes things like animation, visuals, music, sounds, storyboarding, the plot, the story, etc., etc., character design, character background. I have to say, out of all that, I probably appreciate the music the most out of this series. It's great. It is great. And so yeah, I mean, if you ask me whether I enjoyed this series or not, I wouldn't necessarily say it's how should I put it? It's kind of hit and miss, right? So some episodes I like, some episodes I was in meh. And overall, also, I feel like this series isn't particularly suited for doing reaction videos or review videos either. So it's just something that you just simply go through, at least for me. But I do know, and I do appreciate you guys also leaving comments as well, saying that, hey, this is actually something that touched you because you went through a similar situation and whatnot, and that's great, right? I'm not taking any away from that. I'm just saying that for me, what I'm seeking from an anime and whatnot might not necessarily be what others are seeking for. And so that's why, to me, this anime, and particularly in this season, was a bit more hit and miss in terms of the enjoyment that I gained out of it. Now, with that being said, if there is a season 3, would I watch it? Well, definitely yes. I still want to see things and, see how the story continues on, right? And most particularly, I miss Kyoko and I miss Goto and that entire storyline as well. So I still want to see, like, what happens to that, what exactly happens to Rei and his foster family, what happens to Hina, what happens to the bully, what is she called again? Takagi, right? Takagi. Like, how are they going to resolve that situation? Is it going to be a satisfying conclusion there? Is it going to be something that I feel is realistic and also, takes these very complex matters and give them a complex enough resolution, right? A satisfactory resolution, instead of just being like on either side of the spectrum, like basically punish all of them or do nothing at all about them, right? The answer lies somewhere in between. So I am curious to see how exactly they resolve that entire situation. Okay, so yeah, anyways, that's it for now, and thank you guys that have been watching this series all the way till the end here. Wow, like I said, it's been almost a year, and I applaud anybody who can also follow along for an entire year. But yeah, anyways, feel free to check out my other works as well, and of course, in the future Tuesdays, I'll probably be having some other series. I still got a huge backlog I have to go through, so we'll see what's going to be then. What it's gonna be then, right? And man, okay, I've been talking for 20 minutes already. That is way too long. So thank you guys once again, and I hope I will see you guys next time. Until then, bye bye.